Card number 73 from the 53 Bowman Color set, Billy Pierce. And if it's card 73, that means it is session 73 of Card Room Live. Good evening, everybody. It is December 30th. This is our New Year's session. We're not doing it tomorrow night because people got plans for tomorrow night. Remember, guys, this is not a show. This is a hangout for fellow vintage collectors. Sometimes we have guests, as you guys can see, but these guys are not guests. These guys live here, and they have wrenches. Most of the time we waste time looking at and talking about cardboard. Oh, nice. That's beautiful. I need a copy of that.
I know. I'm not getting that one.
Through it all, we try to make it time well wasted. So if you're here with us live, welcome. Leave a comment. We'll be checking the comments. If you're listening to this later, either going to work, coming home from work, sorting cards, looking at eBay, walking the dog, sitting on the john, wondering if someone's going to show an Eddie Waitkus card, whatever you might be doing, I hope you get something out of it. So let's get started. We've got a whole bunch of people here. Let's just quickly check. Stuke is here. Rick is here. Marty Sullivan. First time live listener from Little Rock. Welcome, Marty. Peter's here. Brian's here. Mike is here. Lou Rock is here. Orlando, Rick. These guys are mortal enemies. Well, that's debatable. Ace Fan Jim, Mookie Chilson. Doug is here. All right, we've got a great group.
I just noticed you have Cliff on your name there. Very nice.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Someone wrote Cliff is dressed like Scott. Oh, Peter B. Cliff is dressed like Scott.
It's a good costume. Okay, so I've got Don and I've got Cliff. I've got Cliff and Norm. I've got Don and Scott. And I asked these guys to jump on this a few weeks ago, and they both said yes. And then it was sort of like, what are we going to do? And I started just thinking, well, let's just show cards. And I just started a random list of different ideas kind of off the cuff, and Don just added some and Scott just added some. So we're going to call this Show a Card. And Show a Card is basically what it sounds like. And there's a different prompt. So I've pulled a bunch of cards, Don's pulled a bunch of cards, and Scott has pulled a bunch of cards. And we're going to try to get through this. I think we'll make it. We might get off track. We might go off on some tangents, but we've got an hour. And if we don't get through them all, that's cool, but I think it's going to be fun. I'm really excited to see what you guys pulled. And if you guys in the chat, if you guys have a card that you want us to show, we'll debate it maybe, because we don't have it pulled necessarily. So we might have to scramble and run and find it. So maybe we'll save that for the end if we have time. Okay, so the first one, and Scott, we're going to start with you.
Okay.
Show a card that reminds you of your childhood.
All right. 1987 Julio Franco autographed. This is the one I had when I was a kid, and I met him at a card show, and I was a little kid, and he was huge. So that one reminds me of a kid, or when I was a kid.
Awesome. Don, go for it.
All right. This card reminds me of a kid because this was the first set I collected. And the reason this reminds me of being a kid is because this card is from my childhood.
Nice.
And it's got the famous D on it, if you've seen any of my videos.
Oh yeah.
But I marked all my cards as a kid, so my brother wouldn't take them. So this reminds me of my childhood because it's from my childhood.
Sweet. Okay, so Christmas Day, I was opening presents, and my brother, and I shared this with these two guys. My brother gave me a box of just random raw cards, and what had happened was some neighbors were getting rid of stuff, and he saw they had a big box of like junk wax, and he's like, "Oh, my brother loves baseball cards," so he started pulling stuff, and my brother does not have time. He's got 2 kids, but he had enough time to go through and find all the Phillies cards and put them in a box as kind of like a gag gift. And when I was going through this on Christmas Day, this card jumped out at me, Chris James. And everyone was like, "Who's Chris James?" Well, when I started getting into the Phillies, it was right around the late 80s when it's a good thing I was a kid and I didn't know any better because they were pretty terrible. But when I saw this, it reminded me of my Panini sticker album, which I still have. So this is my 1989 Panini sticker album. And the reason that it reminded me of Chris James is because I remember this awesome shot of Chris James like leaping to make a catch, which is right here.
Nice.
That's Chris James reaching up for that. And I always loved that shot. And now as an adult, I'm like, you know what? The ball's not actually in his glove. So he more than likely he just like wiped out or didn't make the catch because he's a Philly. But as a kid, I loved that picture. So anyway, that's my Chris James card. Yes, Ricky Jordan era Phillies. That's right. Okay. Don, we'll start with you this time. Show a card of one of your favorite players from your childhood that few people remember.
Okay, my favorite player growing up as a kid was not my favorite player, but one that they wouldn't remember was Phil Garner. And I love this OPC card because his first card in a Pirates uniform, the tops of that year, he was still in an A's uniform. And I am actually the #1 Phil Garner PSA registry set. I've got all kinds of Phil Garner. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God, they're all backwards. I'm an idiot. I've got Phil Garner on the Astros again. Got the rookie card. There's no one else good besides Garner on here. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking in the mid or like around 2008, 2007, but I'm going for the Phil Garner record.
You went
on my only #1. I'm the only one on it. So Phil Garner was my guy.
Awesome. Scott, go ahead.
All right. We got Doug Jones.
Who?
Doug Jones. So he broke some sort of record for saves as a rookie, I think. And
God, every one of your cards is going to be autographed. Just not.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. And like I just thought that was awesome because he was on my team and nobody ever talked about the Indians. And there's Doug Jones as a record breaker. Only that's not Doug Jones. That's Chris Cotaroli.
Oh, wow.
And
cool.
Doug Jones wouldn't sign this card. So Chris signed this card for me.
That's amazing. Well, I'm sure you guys remember this guy, Von Hayes.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Von Purple Hayes. This was also in that little stack that my brother gave me, but he put this at the top. This was the first card I saw when I opened it up, and he knew because when I was a kid, I loved Von Hayes. I don't know why. I guess because he was a left-handed hitter, and he could sometimes hit, and I was a left-handed hitter, and that was all it took. So Von Hayes, my childhood favorite. Okay, now we're going to get into some other stuff here. We'll see what you guys pulled. Scott, a card that you're proud to own.
Okay, it's another autograph card, Don.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah,
it's my signed destruction key card. Just something I'd never thought I'd own.
Shame Rock used a pin.
Got lucky with it.
I wonder if another one exists. Have you ever seen another one?
I do know of one more. I'm
Okay.
sure there are more than that, but
That's pretty
Yeah.
special.
Did you get any of those yourself, or did you buy?
no, I bought it. It just popped up on eBay, and it's JSA certified. And went for a lot less than I would have paid for it.
Right. Orlando's looking for it. Don, go ahead.
Yeah, that'd be. I'm pretty happy to have this card.
Wow. Yeah.
And George Dominor Sports Cards was a big influence on me and gave me advice when I bought this card. So still amazed that I have this card.
It's a beautiful one.
Yeah.
So on a similar theme, I was in the, I don't remember exactly where I was, somewhere in the middle of building the Bowman set. And for some reason, one summer, I decided that I really wanted to get this card. And I'm glad I did, because I don't know that I could get this card now. And
I love that card of yours.
Mhm.
yeah, every time I show this card, I'm reminded that I'm glad I have it, because it's hard to come by. And this is not the grades matter, but this is in a good, good condition. So happy I got it when I did. Scott. Sorry, I just threw myself off. There's too many cards. A card that you never paid attention to initially, but slowly fell in love with over time.
Okay, this one might surprise you, and it's not autographed, Don.
Oh, darn.
Yes. Oh, I'm so happy to see that.
Yeah. So, I never liked this card until I owned it, because I thought he was too small in it, because it's a
Right.
small card. And then the sky is too gray.
Right.
But once I had it in my hand, I just kind of fell in love with it.
You said I was wrong.
Right.
Don, go for it.
Okay, mine's almost more the set than the actual card. But I was never crazy about the 72.
Oh, yeah.
It was low on my list. And the more I started collecting, and this is a card that I love, I really started to appreciate this set because it really fits the era. And, at first I was just like, these cards are awful. I just don't like the look of them. But they've really grown on me, and I really appreciate this set now. And great card.
Yeah. It's a fun design. Mine, I got to give credit to Mangini. John showed this card, gosh, ages ago, maybe more than a year ago, and I had never really paid attention to it. It's the 54 Bowman Jim Gilliam. And this was a card that, we always say that you can easily get influenced by YouTube, and you have to be careful about that and all that kind of stuff. But I also think there's a good thing about that. And John showing this card, it just jumped out at me. And now when I look at this card, it really stands out. Like, it's definitely part of that 54 Bowman set, but to me, it always feels a little different. And I just like the way it looks. It doesn't look realistic. It looks like more of a painting than a photograph, even though it's based on photograph. And I don't know, I just like it. It's hard to explain. Let's see. What's next? Show a card that is the oldest in your collection. Who wants to go?
I'll start. Mine would be my T206 Honus Wagner.
Oh, whoa.
I'm getting it graded. Piedmont, not the greatest back. All right, I'll be serious here. Mine's my 1910, my only T206 card.
Who's that? Chief Bender.
Chief Bender.
Yeah.
Correct.
Nice.
And I saw Sammy Thunder show this card, and I liked that it had the bushes in the back. I guess there's another version of this that doesn't have that. But when I saw this card on his channel, and I was looking for this at the last national I was at, and I couldn't find it. At least, I shouldn't say that. It was either really beat up or really expensive.
Right.
And then I ended up finding one right on eBay when I got home. So,
Scott, how about you?
Okay. I've got my 1889 and 85 Duke Stamps cards.
Oh yeah.
Also cool.
So also influenced by eBay, or not eBay, by YouTube.
Right. Enough said, right?
Right.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, these are fun.
Sweet.
Are those tobacco cards, Scott?
They are, and they're like little kids hounding people coming out of the tobacco shops for the cards.
Oh, that's
Did
cool.
you, like, just out of curiosity, did you come across those pretty quickly, or was it a lot of waiting and searching, or do you remember?
No, just really quickly, and they were super cheap. I think they were like less than $10 each.
Wow.
Awesome.
And I've always wanted to upgrade them, but I haven't found them since.
Right. I mean, those would be fun to look for. I've got two here. See if I can do this. 1887 Kimball champions of E.A. Birch, who played for some iteration of a Brooklyn team.
Oh, that's a nice card.
And I love this because it has like the big portrait at the top, and then there's like a little bit of an action scene at the bottom, which to me always makes it feel like it's like a movie poster. And then this is maybe, it's hard to tell exactly. This might be a little older or around the same period. It's an old Judge card. Marty Sullivan of the White Sox, and he's obviously about to catch a ball that is hanging on a string, which is always fun. All right. Let's see. Peeps, was that a Chief Bender? Yes, it was. Stu says Bender, the first Minnesota Hall of Famer. Did not know that.
I didn't either.
Yes, absolutely. Scott is not afraid to hold raw cards. Okay, what are we up to here?
Modern card.
Modern card. Show a modern card to
All
shop.
right, Alex, you go first this time.
Okay. Here is me trying to be a smart ass with my modern card.
Nice.
Christy Mathewson, New York Giants ace card. I pulled a bunch of cards for my nephew. I guess this was last summer, and I put this one aside for him, and he's going to be like, "What is this?" But he'll figure it out someday.
I notice you still have it. Your nephew doesn't.
Yeah. True. We'll see if that actually falls through or not. Cliff.
So it may not be surprising that I have modern cards, but it may be surprising that I have a Kenta Maeda for some reason.
Yeah,
It's
I'd say so.
Yeah. I won it in a giveaway, and it's been in my little box ever since.
Nice.
No Taco Fractor, though.
Don?
Mine's got a Freddie Freeman rookie.
Nice.
What year is this? 2011. For I need my modern graded because if it doesn't say what it is up here, I don't know what they are.
That's so good.
Graded.
Don, were you collecting modern? I'm trying to remember. Like, were you collecting it more regularly at one point, or?
Around in the late 90s, I was early 2000s.
Yeah.
And then I stopped. And I have, every once in a while I'll buy a box at Walmart or Target just for fun, but that's the extent of it. I tend to buy more vintage guys in modern cards, like you showed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now Scott's already done this a whole bunch, but show a card that's autographed.
True, yes.
Scott, yeah, we'll start with you.
All right. Here's a 48 Bowman Bob Feller.
Beautiful.
So just happened across that on eBay. Real cheap.
Sweet. Don?
The one I have, I know this is real because I was in his house and got it. And this is Andy Russell. And I know Andy personally. And I believe, Scott, you sent me this card.
Mm-hmm.
And never felt comfortable asking Andy for his autograph. And his wife was always like, hey, Andy, you'll sign anytime. And because this card was from Scott, I was like, I have to get this one autographed. So Andy autographed it for me. And played on the first 2 Super Bowls for the Steelers. Was one of the few Steelers on those Super Bowl teams that was there before Chuck Noll. They were awful back then. They cut just about everyone. But Andy survived. And like I said, I know Andy personally, so this was pretty cool. When Scott sent me this, that I did ask him to autograph it for me.
That's so cool. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of autograph cards. I'm not opposed to it. I just don't have any. So I'm gonna be a smart ass again. Scott, is this a legit autograph?
Yeah, that is legit.
Okay, it's not printed on here.
Nope.
Okay, sweet. All right, well then there you go.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
That's a great Bill Mazeroski. I love your interpretation of the Home Run Run series.
So
Okay,
a lot of people didn't know who that one was.
Seriously?
Yeah, I found that interesting.
Wow.
That is it.
Somebody said Ted Williams. I think somebody did say Mazeroski.
Really?
Yeah.
I do not know that's Roy Hobbs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's. I'm just realizing now because that is an actual shot from the film.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it so many times that it's like instantly like in my head what that is. Okay, this one should be fun. Show a card that's in terrible shape. Don, we'll go with you.
Okay. So I pulled this one out and thought it was pretty bad until I found this one. So this one beat it. And the back's pretty sweet too. It's got the D again because, in case anyone wants this card, gotta make sure it's mine. And what was cool is when Ed played for the Pirates, he lived in my hometown and his son was in my grade, and his son used to bring in all kinds of pirate stuff and give to us. And actually, I remember Ed coming to our school. I was in grade school at the time, and bringing us a bunch of souvenirs. So I thought this was bad, but this takes the cake. I can't even hold these up. So
They've both been through some stuff. Scott, how about you?
There we go.
Holy crap. What happened?
Somebody found it like that and gifted it to me. And I love it.
Oh my God.
Got some serious nose hair.
Yep.
Yeah, somebody had a time with Don there. That's amazing. I'm trying to sell off. I have like a handful of raw Pee Wee Reese cards that I've decided I'm going to sell off and like put towards a new card, but I'm going to keep this one for sentimental value because I don't think anybody else wants this card anyway. It's part of it's been, gnarled. Looks like somebody stuck a pencil in it.
Or someone's dog got a hold of it or something.
Yeah. But I'm happy with it. All right. Show a card that has a YouTuber story behind it. Scott.
Did you skip one?
Yeah, I think you
Did I?
skipped.
Yeah.
It's the vintage and scary good shape.
Oh, crap.
We can.
No,
switch
let's
stuff.
do it. Show a card. That's right. I did skip that one. That is a vintage card in scary good shape.
Okay.
Yikes.
Okay, I quit.
Yeah, that looks fake. That's amazing.
Except there's no back on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's like it just somebody got it out of the pack and put it
Yeah.
in their album right away.
It is gorgeous.
I don't even want to show mine after that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my highest graded vintage card.
That's beautiful.
I think this might have been one of the cases where it was a good price, and I hate to say this, but I probably bought it because of the grade. This card really means nothing to me.
Poor Phil Negro. Yeah, I didn't pull one. All right, I'm gonna grab one. I mean, this one's in pretty good shape for just grabbing a card.
There you go.
It's a 6, but it looks pretty nice.
They're only 60s card.
Yeah, and it's my only 60s card. That's right. You have an offer here, Don.
Let's talk, man. I'll move it.
Yes, he is.
Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, he's all right.
And hey, guys, anybody that doesn't already follow Jason, you should definitely look up this channel and subscribe. He's a recent YouTube creator. Just started pretty recently. All right, let's get this off of me. Let's see if I'm back on track. Show a card that has a YouTuber story behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Don.
I got to show two. So one, I got gifted this by my guest here, Bowman 53.
Sweet.
Pretty cool to get a Bowman 53 card. As much as I like that, I got to admit, I like that he gave me. And I got this other guy on here. Gave me a card, and this card's cool because it's a Topps now. And it was when
oh yeah,
Albert was what, third in home runs, I guess. Scott was at the game with me, as was my son and Dean Gearhart, and Scott sent one of these to me and one for my son. But again, as much as that card's cool, on that day,
yeah,
he gave me this after the game in the parking lot. So, you know, I love those two cards you guys gave me, but the other gifts that you gave me, I love even more.
Don't break that, Don.
I was scared holding it, man. It's gonna go back up on the wall here in a minute.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah, for sure. We're getting all sentimental in here. What's up?
That's what I did.
So I'll get to Don later, but this one reminds me of Dylan. Not because he gave it to me, but he's got one on his wall, and I keep commenting on it, and he keeps telling me to shut up. So I keep sending him pictures of it, and we're having fun with that.
So Dylan, if you're here,
He was here.
Still something that you should be thinking about. The early win 49.
We texted about that today, actually.
James is saying, hey, that's not a card, by the way.
I showed cards before. James. Jeez.
Stickler. All right, I've got two as well. This was sort of a weird but wonderful happenstance. So years ago, some of you guys might remember the channel A League of Their Own. Kate, she sent me this card. I had sent her a gift package, and then she got me back and sent me this card, which I love. It's 51 Bowman, Richie Ashburn. And this was years ago. And then maybe, I don't know, a year or so ago, Nina sent me 51 Bowman, Robin Roberts. And so it's just kind of cool happenstance that two of the, women of baseball YouTube world got me these two Philly pairs
cool.
from this set. So it's kind of cool that those two go together in that way. Oh, let's see. Okay, now we're getting into super sentimental stuff. Show a card that makes you think of your significant other. Scott.
So just because she just gave me this for Christmas, which is
I'm curious,
cool
did she just sort of take the initiative and figure it out, or did she like consult with you, or?
No, she gets a list.
Oh. Nice. Nice.
Wait a minute,
Smart.
is your wife going to get on here and give me a hard time?
I don't think so.
Okay, good.
All right, Don, go for it.
Here we go. Oh wait, our wife. I thought you meant someone else's wife. Sorry. The only thing I could think of was Ian Happ went to the same high school as my wife, which my two daughters have graduated from the same high school, and my son goes there now. So Ian was after my wife and before my kids. So that was the closest thing I could think of that reminds me of my wife. So
Right. So my girlfriend is not from the States and, didn't grow up with baseball or baseball cards, but she's getting an education on it now. And she's been totally supportive of me collecting and stuff, but, doesn't really know that much about it. Maybe a year or so ago, I don't remember how it happened. We started talking about collecting and I was explaining modern versus vintage, but I was not really trying to influence her one way or the other about how I felt about it. I was just showing her cards, and so I pulled a bunch of I pulled a bunch of modern cards just to show her so she could kind of hold them and look through them. And then I pulled a bunch of vintage cards, and I remember she like stopped on this card and a few other cards. And my girlfriend's an artist, and she said, "I'm way more interested in these cards than the modern cards." And I was like, "Okay, good, because that's that's the way it's going to go." But she was saying like, just from without knowing anything about value or anything else, just like the way that they're made and the quality and the artistry and stuff. Like she was saying the new ones feel too clean, too like kind of computerized and sort of a little sort of robotic, and these feel much more like almost handmade. And I was like, yeah, I totally agree. So we kind of bonded just a little bit over
there you go.
vintage cards. Let's see. Yes, she does. Absolutely. Oh, show a card from a set that you think is underrated.
Go ahead, Alex. You can go first again.
Sure. I haven't shown these in a while, but I love this set. T212 Obac cigarettes. I think these are mostly overlooked because they're Pacific League and there are only a handful of players in there that anybody would recognize. But I'm the kind of collector, as you guys know, that I'll just collect stuff that I think catches the eye or is just fun to look at. And this set has a lot of beautiful cards. I think there's stuff in here that's just as good, if not better, than T206. And, I've got a handful of these cards. This is a set that I think would be fun to build, and is definitely not as expensive as some other like pre-war stuff out there. So T212 gets my vote. Scott, how about you?
I'm going with 51 Tops.
Yeah.
Nobody likes it, but I think it's got a neat design, and they have did what they a nice job with black and white photography and adding color to it without making it look easy.
I think they're fun. I agree that they're kind of overlooked. Don, how about you?
I guess it's underrated because I love it so much, and I don't hear other people talk about it. But it's the 64 stand-ups.
Yeah,
I just love this set, and I don't see a ton of people talking about them or collecting them. So just think the yellow is like the sun, and the green is the ball field, and like this card, for example, there's very few, if any, other cards of Clemente. Maybe bazooka cards of him throwing in the field. They're all batting cards.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
Love that set.
Jason, see you later. Yeah, Don. When I think of that stand-up set, I think of you. I mean, it's sort of synonymous at this point.
Right.
But they're definitely striking. I think I want to try to go after the Koufax at some point. All right. Show a card that creeps you out. Let's all show our card at the same time.
Okay.
All right.
I don't have any cards of Don though, so.
I have one of Scott.
Okay, hold up. I'm gonna solo this out. Okay, what happened to Gary there?
All right. Somebody burned his eyeballs out,
Wow.
and it's really creepy.
And you bought it.
It was a gift.
Oh, okay. And Don, you had your buddy there. Yeah.
Honestly, the two cards that creep me out, and that's the reason I don't own them, is the Mariano Rivera rookie card. I just
Yeah,
don't.
right. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the 1964 Ken Hubs. I don't know if you could. He played 1 year with the Cubs. He won Rookie of the Year, got a Gold Glove, and he died in a plane crash.
Oh yeah.
And his card says like "In Memoriam."
Yep.
And I just don't like that card.
I'm gonna share it right now so we can all share in Don's creepy feeling here. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's just kind of strange. I agree with Orlando. I hate the 58 Brooks Robinson, but I don't know if it creeps me out.
Yeah.
But that one does. I mean, this kid looked like he was going to be a stud. You know, Rookie of the Year, Gold Glove, and that was the only year he played. He was actually the pilot of a small plane, I think in Utah, and he crashed.
Way to bring the vibe down, Don.
Well, you said creepy.
We were having so much fun too.
Mine's Alpha Brazel, and he just every time I look at him, he looks like he could be in like an old horror film.
He does.
Good old Alpha. All right, a card that gets you all nostalgic about baseball cards. Scott, go for it.
Ta-da. So my mom bought this for me when I was a kid, and I think it was kind of like the beginning of my interest in vintage. And it's just
On a good taste.
such a cool card. It's a neat design and everything, and Stan Smile.
The blue and the stars, awesome.
Yeah.
Don?
And there were so many to pick from, but I went with Yogi.
Oh, nice.
With the grandstand in the back, just reminds you of old time baseball. Just a young Yogi Berra right there. I don't know. Just reminds me of vintage cards looking at that. Obviously, it's vintage, but
Definitely. Mine's the 53 Bowman Snyder. It's so simple. Just a clear blue sky, bat on his shoulder, big smile, and just the color combo and everything. So simple, but kind of straightforward and to the point, and super vintage, and just love it. Always love that card.
great card.
Let's see. Card of a Mythic pre-war player. I'll start. T205. I already showed a Mathewson, but I'll show another one. Christy Mathewson.
Awesome.
With his hair combed over. Don.
Yeah, I don't have many pre-war, but this is a pretty good one. Dizzy Dean.
Oh, nice.
Rowdy.
Beautiful.
All right. I'm gonna go with Tris Speaker.
Oh, nice.
I don't really like these hand cut cards, but
Yeah.
I like the patina on this one, and it's kind of neat.
That one's pretty cool. I mean, like, I agree with you. Like a lot, sometimes the hand cut ones are a little wonky, but that one looks pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dan Vintage Baseball is hitting on us.
Yeah. Dan, we love you too, man.
We are better looking when you're drunk, Dan.
Happy New Year. All right, let's see here. We might actually get through this.
I think so.
We got 20 minutes. An underrated player. Show a card from an underrated player from the 50s. Don.
Well, with one of your boys, Alex, Don Newcomb.
Yes, and that card too. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great card. He was a great pitcher. Just when you think Dodgers, you think Koufax and Drysdale, and I think Newcomb gets forgotten. Great first name too.
All right, Cliff.
We have a 3-time All-Star Mike Garcia.
Yes.
Who was on rotation with Feller, Bob Lemon, and Early Wynn.
Yeah.
And you kind of get lost in that, but he was sometimes better than all 3 of those guys.
Big Mike. I just went on a list, and it was like a list of, I forget however many, like players from the 50s that are underrated. And I stopped when they mentioned Carl Furillo, the Reading Rifle. And I don't have any like details on him necessarily, but one stat that stood out to me was, I think he had a 299 career batting average, just one shy.
Is he from Reading, Pennsylvania? Is that where the nickname came from?
I believe so. Looking at the back of the card, he's from Stony Creek Mills, Pennsylvania.
Probably close to there. I
Close
guess.
enough. Yeah.
Never heard of it. But
I'm gonna look it up right now. As we move on to, I had to ask, show a card with a player that's kneeling. I'm gonna look up Stony Creek Mills real quick.
his fault. Who is that?
Yeah, it's 5 miles
Al
east
Rosen.
of the city of Reading. Sorry.
No problem.
Scott. Hey, Al Rosen. All right.
Had to do that one.
Well, here's the card that started all. I showed the card for like 5 seconds. And this was the card I showed. And I said, wow, I like this card because he's kneeling. And I've been stuck with that. And that's pretty cool.
I didn't realize that the Amorous was the one that started it. That's great.
Yep. That's the one I showed. And somebody took it and ran with it. And I'm stuck with it.
You wear it well, Don. I tried to pick one that was a little more obscure. This is a Diamond Stars Stanley Hack.
Oh, that's
I can't
That's cool.
I can't tell if he's just like coming out of the dugout or if he's
kind of looks like he's like on the steps of the dugout.
Yeah. We can debate it in the kneeling chat thread.
There is a whole kneeling collector's road out there.
Kneeling registry, PSA.
Yeah.
Whoops, sorry, Scott. Didn't mean to solo you. Where are we? Show a card of one of your all-time favorite players from any era. Scott.
Okay, this is from a buddy of mine,
Nice.
Mr. Dobie.
I used to have a card like that in my collection.
Did you?
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to it.
I got sent to Ohio somewhere.
Oh, okay. That's where it belongs.
Go ahead, Alex.
Okay. Some people will be surprised to discover that I have this card. It's 1998 Bowman Jimmy Rollins. This is the only. Is it? Yeah, I think it's pretty much the only modern card I have, and I picked this up when he retired because he's one of my all-time favorite players, and I had to have his rookie, even though I don't really like the look of the rookie card. There it is.
I sort of showed this card earlier, but
Yes.
this is my favorite Stan the Man card. Actually, one of my favorite. There we go. Probably one of my top 5 cards in my collection.
Chris. Sorry, Chris.
Can we skip the last card or the last question and go to the ones we threw in?
Oh yeah, no, yeah, yes. We're going to your questions next. Yes.
Yeah.
Show a card that you think is the prettiest card, maybe in your collection or maybe of all time.
Yeah.
I'm going to go first
Yeah. Go ahead.
because it's the card that Don just showed, but it's my version. I mean, Don threw those questions at us with like 15 minutes to spare. I was like, okay, this one. Scott.
Yeah, I was gonna go with this one, but it's kind of cheating. So I'm just enamored with this card. I always have been. It's the pop art look to it,
Yeah.
and the cool catching pose and everything.
It's so smart too. Like, I mean, and I know you know this as more than I do about the artistry of it, but like the color split
Mm-hmm.
that happens behind him, so you don't see it. Like,
Right.
if that makes sense, it's so cool. Yeah. Yes, Chris. I'm still here. I'm no longer showing modern cards. Don, go for it.
Mine actually the Bobby Dorr, but I couldn't find it from the set. But this one's a close second.
Oh yeah,
And that's
I have that card.
I know. Another card I used to have. Oh wait, I still have it. Love that card. And the whole 41 play ball set, I just think it's just gorgeous.
Yes, Stuke, right back here on the wall. I agree. I could have pulled that. All right. Show a card of a player that played most of his career with one team and is kind of associated with that team, but a player that people may not know also played for a different team. Scott.
Okay, I kind of cheated because I was pressed for time. Don Newcomb, who ended his career in Cleveland.
Oh, I did not realize that.
Yep.
He doesn't have a card, right?
Not a Cleveland card, no.
That's what I thought. I'm late. This is the card I wanted to show, actually. For prettiest card. Love that card.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I also had to scramble because I don't really have. I mean, I honestly don't really have that many cards. And I was trying to think, who do I know that was on one team that whatever. And then I was thinking, this is kind of a fun story that I'm sure some of you guys know. This is Harry Cheedy. And I'm gonna butcher the story, but basically, was it Cleveland and New York? There was a trade, and somebody traded him for a player to be named later, and then wherever he was sent, he did so terribly that they sent him back. So the player to be named later was him. So he was the first player ever in baseball to be traded for himself.
Nice.
Harry Cheedy. Cheedy on the Mets, that's right. Thank you, Mookie. Show a card of a player that.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know if a lot of people know that Goose Gossage played 1 year for the Pirates.
Oh wow, yeah.
There's no Topps cards of his, but actually, Richie Zisk got traded for Gossage, so you can see they both have airbrushed hats.
Oh, nice.
And I was so bummed when Gossage left for the Yankees. He only spent 1 year with us, and understandably why he left, because we were never going to pay him. But a lot of people I don't think know that he played for the Pirates for 1 year.
I did not know that. Show a card of a player that may have been great were it not for injuries. Cliff.
Okay, I have Herb Score cards, but this is my favorite Herb Score piece. So he's supposed to be like a left-handed Bob Feller, and he took a line drive to the face, and he was never the same after that.
Yep.
Sad. Don?
I went with Mark Fidrich.
Oh, yeah.
A great rookie year. And I don't know if it was his leg or his ankle that he messed up, and he was compensating for the injury, and it screwed up his arm. And sadly passed away fairly young. He was working on his truck, and I believe it fell on him. And he had that one awesome year, and he was a great story as well.
Was there a film about him, like a documentary?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like there might have been. I went the smart ass route again.
Yeah, he could have been better. He really could have been.
He really could have been. He really could have been. All right, now we got into
on the bird. Okay.
the bird. 30 for 30. Thank you.
By the way, earlier he asked who Cliff is. He's too young to know about Cheers, apparently. Do some research, Jake.
YouTube. All right, so I think this was Scott's idea. This is great. So Don, show your favorite Cleveland and Philadelphia cards.
All right, so my Philadelphia card is the 1950 Bowman Robert Roberts.
Yes.
Love that card. And I love the 50 Bowman Bob Feller, but I didn't want to show two Indian cards from the same set. So I went with the 52 Bob Feller. It's my favorite Cleveland Indians card.
Nice.
Sweet. So Don passes. Scott, favorite Pittsburgh and Philadelphia card?
My favorite Pittsburgh card is this squirt card with Dave Parker on top there.
Ubra.
And my
Is that
favorite
your only
Philly
card?
What's that?
Is that your only Pirates card? Or is there another Indian on a Pirates card?
I have a Mazeroski record. Does that count? And I have a Ralph Kiner baseball.
Wow, you are ready.
That's because he played for the Indians.
He did. And then not so much of a Phillies collection, but I've got my Julio Franco rookie card.
Oh man. Well, I guess if you're gonna have one Phillies card, that's a good one to have. All right, I got to show Cleveland and Pittsburgh card. We already saw this card tonight, but we'll see it again. It's a beautiful card.
Yep.
Al Rosen. And I need some more Pittsburgh Pirate cards.
I guess which one you're going to show?
Can you guess? Go ahead.
53 Bowman Kiner.
Good guess. Incorrect.
Oh, better card.
That's my favorite Clemente. And he's in Ebbets Field, which is cool too. All right. And then last but not least,
Should we take any from the audience?
we could, yeah. Does anybody have any show a card prompts that they want to throw in there? I've been keeping my eye on it, but I haven't seen any. Jake is having some fun with Cliff. Jake, what you need to do is go on YouTube and type in Cliff, Norm, and Sam, and you'll probably be in the vicinity of it.
Kind of like this. Sort of.
Favorite Yankee card?
Who said that? Stook. Favorite Yankee card.
That's a tough one.
There.
Do we all show Manos?
Yeah.
I got a Maris, so I can push it up. There's a Maris.
Oh, nice.
I mean, I got a really nice Mano card to show. Along with the Mazeroski.
Oh, man.
A foreign card.
How about a foreign card?
Yeah, I'm out.
Ooh.
Ooh, nice.
1929 Shonen Club, Babe Ruth.
I do have one.
Speaking of prestige collectibles,
There you go. 67 Venezuela.
Oh, nice. With bats.
With that. But sort of kneeling.
It's just about to, yeah. Oh my gosh. Let's see.
Favorite card from a team that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, this team does exist technically, but not in the same city.
Well, same with this one.
Oh yeah, that's great.
They're what, the Baltimore Orioles now?
Yep.
maybe
Who's that?
Yeah, I guess so.
Lajoie on the naps.
All right, we're going to go to our final card here.
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay.
Final card to wrap up the live stream. Should we just do them all at the same time?
Yeah, I lied earlier about my favorite Cleveland card, by the way. That's my favorite Cleveland card.
Nice.
I knew I had to show it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man, that's some powerful stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what, just a random card to show, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. But we all picked some doozies.
We did.
Sweet.
Well,
That was fun, guys. I can't believe we got through all of it.
Where?
Well, let's see. I'm supposed to say some stuff. Thanks for joining in, everybody. I should ask if you like the live stream, give it a thumbs up. Would appreciate it. It makes a difference. And this is the last, obviously, live stream for this year. We're not doing anything tomorrow. We'll get back on schedule next weekend with something. I don't know what. I have a couple plans for upcoming streams. I don't know when, though. So, it's just what it is. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great New Year's. Stay safe.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Happy New Year's, guys. And we'll do this again soon. So Scott and Don, thanks, guys. It was a good time.
Thank you.
All right. So take care, everybody. Have a good night.